Yo, week 11, college Splatcast. We're here. No G Russ, first show I think he's missed, but James, Chewb is back. James is still here, pointing in the wrong direction. It's all right. We got a lot of games this week. Some interesting ones at that. This could clear up the playoff picture for at least, I think, one of these teams. I'm looking at it right now, but
I'm looking at two right now that have playoff.
True.
I think our last two games are big playoff games.
Yes.
Last three, really.
Yeah.
I'd say last three. Huge
playoff
games.
Back. Let's get to it.
All right. First game, always got to start FCS. Indiana State, South Dakota.
Indiana State. Cade Chambers. I think that was his name. I don't know. I forget his name. Quarterback from Maryville was now at Indiana State. That's South Dakota. Don't know what the spread is on this one. I think South Dakota is favored by a lot, but I want to throw another team in there. James, you can go first this week.
Shout out Larry Bird. He went to Indiana State, and also rest in peace, Ben Herbstreit. I personally wasn't a fan, but I know a lot of people were. Yeah, let's get into this game.
That's gonna make the clips.
Yeah, South Dakota State, pretty good team. All the South Dakota, North Dakota schools are dominant when it comes to FCS. And Indiana State not really known for much outside of their basketball program, which had a really good run last year with the Robbie kid with the rec specs. I'm looking at both of the quarterbacks. Bowman, the South Dakota quarterback, has 300 more yards, but 2 less touchdowns. But he also is much more conservative when it comes to the ball, having only 1 interception versus Owens, Indiana State's quarterback, 5. It also looks like South Dakota State can run the ball a lot better. I mean, I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. South Dakota, it's also at South Dakota. Really no reason to swing the other way and go for Indiana State. Just give me South Dakota and whatever they are.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think this is kind of a no-brainer. South Dakota is just the better football team.
Yeah, South Dakota. Indiana State, like James says, basketball school, but I'm going to ride with South Dakota. I believe in them. I also think they're the number 1 team in the FCS, I'm pretty sure. So there you go. Next matchup is C, Conference USA. Yes, Conference USA. Marshall at Southern Miss. James knows all about Southern Miss, don't you, James? Brett Favre and embezzlement funds.
Brett Favre, not good guy. Probably 100% should be in jail. Did help President-elect Donald Trump secure that Wisconsin vote. Yeah, kind of a good, famous guy when it comes to Mississippi. He's an infamous guy. Some people love him, some people hate him, and some people
just
don't
got diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah, he does have Parkinson's. I forgot about that. I saw him in some random restaurant one time. Didn't really talk to him. Just kind of tended to his own family. Didn't want to disturb him. Unlike another person I saw in a restaurant that I will talk about later. USM sucks, though. They're 1-7. Marshall's 5-3. Marshall's also favored by 12.5 points on the road. USM's home field advantage is nothing to talk about. It's pretty lackluster. They've also had some injuries at quarterback this season. The former quarterback of one of our rival schools ended up starting as a freshman for a game or 2 this year. They're not good. They don't have Frank Gore Jr. anymore at running back. Yeah, just we are Marshall. Give me the herd or whatever they are. Also, my soccer coach played 1 semester of soccer at Marshall. Shout out Philip Buffington. He's definitely not watching this. But yeah, give me, what are they called? Just the herd?
The herd.
The herd.
Fighting herd.
The fighting herd.
Did you ever watch Marshall?
Yes, wonderful movie. Wonderful Matthew McConaughey movie. Would recommend it to everyone. Wonderful movie.
Do you know what the movie's about?
What movie? I didn't hear what
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall.
No.
Do you know the big historical thing that happened at Marshall?
Was it with the soccer team or something?
The football team. Their plane
football
crashed.
Team. Yeah, that's it. But
A lot
I
of
mean,
them
it's
died.
Who's
Yeah.
Marshall's greatest player all time?
Randy Moss.
Bingo. All right, he knows something. That's what matters.
Knows ball. All right, get into it.
No, but I do know that Marshall is the better football team. I know Southern Miss is absolutely atrocious, and I actually seen a few of Marshall's games. Just kind of, not the whole game, just pieces put together. I think Marshall's the better football team. Same thing as the last pick. This isn't going to come down to a big rivalry week or anything like that. It's just Marshall's better.
I'm going to go with Marshall. Matthew McConaughey. Not really, but Southern Miss, not very good. 1-7. I mean, you can't get much better than that. I guess. Well, I can't get much worse besides 0-8. So we'll go with Marshall. By nerd. Right on. Kennesaw State at UTEP. Kennesaw State new to the FBS. UTEP. They're all right. I mean, not very good this year. I don't think. No, not very good. But did get a big win over Liberty. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Kennesaw State did.
Yeah.
Kennesaw State did. I'm pretty sure UTEP
Did
too.
UTEP as well?
I feel like they did.
Wow,
feel like they
even
won
playing
back-to-back.
field right here.
Oh wow! Actually, I'll check that right now.
Let's start with Kennesaw State. My first road to glory on NCAA started out 3-star, committed to Tulane. Didn't see the field at all. Third string quarterback. Had the punter mask with the one bar. Thought it was Drip and a nice mustache. And so I was like, all right, coach, I can't play at Tulane. Got to go somewhere else. The only place that really offered me a starting spot out the gate, Kennesaw State, the Owls. Hated their offensive line, atrocious. Wide receivers, hands of brick. And if that game is anything correct about Kennesaw State, they will get slaughtered by UTEP, the Miners. The Miners are going to win. And it's in El Paso. Give me the UTEP Miners over the Kennesaw State Owls.
UTEP did not beat Liberty. Kennesaw State did.
I don't care. Fluke game. Give me UTEP.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with James here that that game against Liberty was absolutely a fluke. I just don't think they had any business being in that football game, but they were, and they somehow managed to win it. Kennesaw State is atrocious, and I think UTEP wins this game pretty easily.
Yeah, Kennesaw State, I think Conference USA probably not going to be very good. I mean, I think that if you bring in some money to the program, probably not, but could be a decent school. You just come, but first year in FBS, UTEP also probably one of the coolest stadiums. They're half the stadium's carved into the mountains, which is pretty cool. I kind of rock with the Miners Stadium, so I'm going to go with them. Going off a stadium pick here, UTEP, El Paso. Let's ride. Next up is Iowa State at Kansas. Iowa State lost last week. Still can control their destiny. If BYU loses this week, we'll get into that pick later. Kansas injured, a lot of them injured, a lot of guys just not playing good. A lot of people said that this Kansas team was going to be a lot better than it was. It has not been very good. Still have some – they can still make some plays here. But, James, who you got in this one?
I'm looking at stats, predictions, lines, all that fun jazz. It does not look like Iowa State can run the ball. Still only being one loss. They're playing at Arrowhead, which is, I think, something to note. But I think part of that will diminish Kansas's home field advantage. Smaller stadium with less fans sounds louder than bigger stadium with okay fans. ESPN's matchup predictor, according to their analytics, only has Iowa State at a 54.9% chance to win, despite being a one-loss team against a 2-6 Kansas. Atrocious. Kansas has only beaten Houston in Big 12 play, and Houston sucks. They lost one-score game to Arizona State, one-score game to Kansas State, a couple-score game to TCU, and one-score game to West Virginia. So they're hanging close. They could cover the 3-point spread, but I don't know. I just feel like Iowa State will get the bounce back win. The Cyclones need it. I don't think Jaden. Is it Jalen or Jaden Daniels? Jalen. I mean, yeah, sure, he can run the ball. Absolute unit on College Football 25. Loved having him on my ultimate team until I upgraded and got a 90 overall KJ Jefferson from UCF. Absolute, top 5 quarterback in the league, even though he got benched. Yeah, but I don't see Iowa State, if they want to stay in contention for a possible playoff spot or even just trying to hang in the Big 12 conversation, they have to win this game because Kansas sucks. They can't afford to lose this one. So, yeah, I guess give me the Cyclones.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Iowa State here too. Just like you said, they have to win this game. And I think they know that. This is kind of one of those trap games, though. Playing a team like Kansas with how banged up they are. I just think Iowa State can't overlook Kansas. They still have to attack this game just like they're playing anybody.
Please find body armor.
Hey, go ahead, give me Iowa State.
Yeah, big trap game. Jeez Louise. Big trap game for Iowa State at Arrowhead. Golly, I lost my. Give me Iowa State. I don't even know.
I thought it was a big trap game.
It is, but I can't think anymore. Let's go to Nevada at Boise State.
Did you say Nevada?
Yep.
Do you mean Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada.
All right, Nevada at Boise State.
Boise State. Ashton Genty.
We already know. Just one thing. I'm really pressed at Athletes Thread right now. Ordered a Genty jersey almost 3 weeks ago. Said 7 to 15 business days. It's been 15 business days and still nothing from it. So I would really like my Ashton Genty jersey so I can wear it and support my Heisman pick. I think what Boise State has shown the past few weeks is that you can stack 9 in the box and they're just going to throw the ball, which is perfectly fine. If that's how they're going to win games, that's how they're going to win games. It hurts my boy Genty's Heisman, race, but Boise State, Ashton Genty is a selfless player. He wants to win games. He wants to win a championship. So if that means he doesn't get 300 yards a game and 7 touchdowns, that's fine. Let's air it out a little. Nevada also sucks. They're what's their record? 3-7. God, they've played a lot of games. Played 2 more games than Boise State. Doesn't matter. And also the college football playoff ball has Boise State at 12. I think that's very telling. So yeah, not a doubt in my mind that Boise State is not going to run Nevada back to Nevada.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is going to be a pretty ugly football game.
Dog, you're just asking for this week.
I don't know what I just saw.
What was that?
Yeah, but I think Boise just runs right over them. Ashton Genty has a really monster game. Give me the Boise State Broncos.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Boise as well. I just don't think that Nevada can compete with them, honestly. I think Ashton Genty is just gonna run all over him, and he's gonna keep doing what he's doing. He should win the Heisman. Travis Hunter should not win the Heisman. I will stand on that till I die. But there you go. Next, Michigan, I believe, at Indiana. Big Ten championship possibly in the balance for Indiana. They got Ohio State next week, I'm pretty sure. But you got to beat this one. This one could be tough. James.
I think Michigan is slowly figuring out who they are as the season goes on. They had one quarterback retire. Their third string that ended up being their starter for a little bit. He retired for medical purposes. The other quarterback sucked, and so we're left with Alex Orji, who's definitely more mobile than he is able to throw. Cale Mullins has been, the starting running back over Donovan Edwards, the cover athlete. I think Colson Loveland will still be a first-round pick. Will Johnson still a first-round pick, cornerback. But I think Coach Ciganetti, he's kind of turning this program around for the better. He's not really too focused on polls. He's just focusing on the next game up. And that's kind of the mentality you need in the Big Ten, where it's, going to be a tough game every week. You're going to be battling it in the trenches. You're going to be sore. You're going to be tired. You're going to be aching. That's Big Ten football. It's just, a dogfight, pretty simple. No matter how biased to Michigan I will be, I also have to be honest, and my honesty tells me Indiana by 2 scores.
Yeah, I've had all the same. I think we've all had all the same picks this week, but I feel like this one again is just going to be the better football team wins. I know it's going to be tough, but I think the silver lining for Indiana, it's not at the big house, so they don't have to go play in that atmosphere in front of 100 and however many thousand. This game will be a good tell for next week for Indiana. However, I do think they win this game.
Is Indiana's quarterback back this week?
Does it matter?
I think I saw that he's back.
If not, Tavon Jackson, former Tennessee guy. Really do like him a lot. I think I'm going to go with Indiana. I like this Indiana team. I really do. I like Kurt Signetti. I think that if Billy Napier wasn't staying at Florida against his will, listen, the fans, it was rough. Message boards were rough. But I'm pretty sure he probably would have taken the Florida job, honestly. But I do like Kurt Signetti. Alabama, Nick Saban guy. He was there with Saban. I think that he's building something there. He's getting I think a lot of recruits are going to be here this week. I think Michigan is kind of falling behind, especially this year, and maybe possibly for the future if they don't figure it out soon. Oregon, we saw it in Oregon's video last week. They called a timeout just to watch the fans leave the stadium. That's why I like Dan Lanning. But I just think that Indiana is a much better team heading into this play. Plus, Indiana stadium is filling up. Fans getting loud. Indiana used to be kind of the Vandy of the Big Ten. Could be the Vandy and the SEC doing well. Indiana, why not? So Big Ten championship in the balance. Of course, the winner will play Oregon more than likely, as long as Oregon doesn't slip up, which I doubt they won't. So there you go, Indiana. Go Hoosiers.
Speaking of Vanderbilt,
South Carolina at Vanderbilt. South Carolina, big win last week. Texas A&M. They got to go on the road to Nashville. Fans are starting to fill in that place too, even though it's still under construction. Diego Pavia also suing the NCAA. Saw that today over NIL stuff. So because you can't get it. James.
South Carolina, 3-point favorites. I'm sorry. Open at 3-point favorites. It's now 6-point favorites.
Oh.
Fans don't trust Fanny. ESPN giving Vandy only a 41.2% chance to win. South Carolina has looked excellent since they lost to Ole Miss, only losing to Bama by 2 in Tuscaloosa, beating the snot out of Oklahoma 35-9 in Oklahoma. Or where's Oklahoma? Norman, middle of Johnsonville. And then at home against A&M, 44-20, dominant win over what we thought, the team that was going to win the SEC. But Vanderbilt, beat Bama, beat Kentucky, narrowly beat Ball State, should have beaten Texas, and beat Auburn. It's going to be close. I think Vanderbilt 100% will cover. Which run game do I trust more in the rain? Rocket Sanders and Lenore Snellers, Diego Pavia and the triple option. It's supposed to be rainy and 70 degrees. Vegas knows something I don't. 6-point favorites is a little too much for my taste. I like Vanderbilt in this. I like Vanderbilt. Diego Pavia is so due for another SEC win. They already said they're going bowling. Diego Pavia wants the Pop-Tarts Bowl, though. He doesn't want the Las Vegas Snoop Dogg Bowl. He doesn't want the Jimmy Fallon. He wants the Pop-Tarts Bowl. He wants the Citrus Bowl. He wants the college football playoff debut. I want Vanderbilt this game. Give me Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia at home.
Yeah, give me South Carolina. I think South Carolina is the best unranked team. Honestly, I think South Carolina wins this football game. I think they're the better team, despite the Diego Pavia Linsanity run. Give me the Cox.
Question: who's ranked?
That's why I said they're the best unranked team.
Who's ranked in this game, though?
I don't care. Lenore Sellers will have a big day.
Lenore Sneller's rec specs are going to get foggy, and he's going to throw the ball to Vanderbilt. Ball game.
I do
I'm
like the rec
also
specs.
I'm also going to go with South Carolina. I think that their defensive line is so much better than Vandy's offensive line. And Vandy's offensive line, not bad. I just think that the South Carolina defense is a lot better than what people give them credit for. They disrupt the game. They disrupted Alabama. They disrupted Oklahoma. They disrupted Texas A&M. With Marcel Reed, they're going to disrupt Vandy. I'm sorry. It's just going to happen. South Carolina, go Cox. I don't know what game's next. I forgot. All right. Vandy money line plus 195. No. Look at that. I can see. I forget what game.
Next game, your absolute favorite Hunter.
Colorado at Texas Tech. Texas Tech could play the upset king. Could be the upset darling. Colorado. Deion said don't rank them. Don't rank them then. But I think Colorado coming in at 20th, 19th maybe. 20 or 19. I can't remember.
Okay. They are 21st.
21st. So, Shadur, Travis Hunter versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech could make some noise, and it's down in I forget how to say the city that Texas Tech is in.
Lubbock.
Like Lubbock. There you go. Lubbock. James.
I want to start off by saying Lubbock is the armpit of Texas. Just not a great town personally. Let's see. Texas Tech lost by 1 to TCU. I think the big game that we're missing is they got obliterated by Baylor at home. A Baylor team that has been off and on all season. 59-35 to a quarterback that wasn't even starting at the beginning of the season. Sorry, Robertson, unsung hero for Baylor. And Colorado beat Baylor at home 38-31. I think that's very telling. I think, Colorado beat Cincinnati better than Texas Tech beat Cincinnati. Both of those teams played them at home. Or Colorado was at home, Texas Tech was at home. I just don't know how you stop Travis Hunter. How do you stop Shador? Shador's playing a really good season. I think he's kind of flying under the radar because we got guys like Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward. We got those two guys. I would put Shador right up there. That's why the NFL draft boards have him so high. Is he's having a great season. Hunter, phenomenal season. Number 2 in the Heisman. He'll get to go to New York, experience the New York experience. He's not winning it because my boy Ashton Jeanty is the greatest running back to play college football since Barry Sanders. And yeah, the line opened at -3 for Colorado. It's bumped up to -4.5. I didn't listen to the line for last game because I'm extremely biased towards Diego Pavia. That's probably going to come back and bite me. I don't care. But I really like Colorado at Texas Tech. I don't see any big weapons for Texas Tech. Nothing too special, just kind of your average Big 12 team that's currently 4-2 in the conference. Kind of impressive, but getting blown out by Baylor at home is unexcusable for any team. I don't care. Colorado. And that, Hunter, was the other man that I met in a restaurant. Deion Sanders. Out for Mother's Day, I believe. It was either Mother's Day or my mom's birthday. It might have been my mom's birthday. It was my mom's birthday. It was in the fall. Sunday, like late afternoon, so a little early dinner with my grandparents. We're sitting there waiting to get in, local oyster house or whatever. Kind of nice. Who do we see walk in the door? Yeah, Mississippi. Back when he was at Jackson State.
Oh, an oyster house in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Deion walks in with one of his bodyguards, doesn't sit and wait in line like the rest of us average Joes. Gets his own table. I'm thinking, holy smokes. The Deion Sanders is right there. Deion would probably take Vandy money line too. We're sitting at our table. We get to I tell my parents, hey, I need to go to the restroom. I didn't have to go to anything. Went to his table. Hey, Deion, nice to meet you. Can I please get a picture? He has his bodyguard get the picture of me. Nice man. Did a lot for the city of Jackson. More than our mayor, who is currently being investigated by the FBI. That's another long story. Yep. So for that reason, I want the Buffalo, or the Buffs, the Colorado Buffs. Oh, yeah. Hit that.
All right. Choose pick. As much as I hate them, I hate the University of Colorado. But it is shitter time. I'm going to go with Colorado this week. Shockingly. Going to go with Colorado. If we ever met Deion Sanders, we'd ask him to be on the podcast, and I would say it to his face. But
I would ask him to be on it.
Chewb meets all sorts of athletes, and he doesn't mention anything. So,
Sorry.
Like who?
The entire Tennessee baseball team was right in front of him. And he just didn't say. He talks to Kirby Connell.
Did he meet Billy Napier?
Yep. Also was like 10 feet away from Billy Napier.
All my homies hate Billy Napier, though, so it's fine.
It's also homecoming tomorrow, so golden opportunity for a lot of great people going to be there.
We're Mississippi State's y'all's homecoming.
Yep.
It would be really bad if we beat y'all on homecoming, wouldn't it?
It would be, but it's a night game in Neyland.
Will you Venmo me $20 if Mississippi State wins?
We'll both Venmo you $20.
I like the sound of that.
Ugh. All right. What's next? I believe it is
the Mormons.
BYU.
Oh,
that's trouble.
Hold up.
BYU at Utah is what that's supposed to say. Rivalry.
The Mormons versus the Utes.
Yes.
I mean, the Cougars.
James.
Utah sucks. Cam Rising's out. He's gonna play his
back, though.
7th year of college football next year. Probably 5 too many for him. BYU was extremely good this season. Extremely good team. I really wish they were playing at home. They actually have an elite home field advantage. Great environment, great mascots, really good student section. Surprisingly, they
Mormons get
show up
lit.
and show up. They get lit, but also don't get lit. It's cool. I mess with it. Yeah, give me the Mormons. Pretty simple pick. Cam Rising sucks. He's also like my dad's age.
He's
And
also
BYU is
hurt.
red hot right now.
Yeah, BYU is a very good football team. I think Utah is a very bad football team. Again, this is another one of those, not much to this pick. Just better football team's going to win.
I'm going to go Utah because rivalry game, night game. This game's always. Jeez Louise. What did you have before this?
Nothing. It was just a long
He snorted
game
a line.
tonight. It was a long game tonight, and then I had to work taking down the tailgating tents around the whole stadium. So,
Tailgating at a high school game. Wow.
yeah, the parents will pay the money for it, and then I get paid to take it down. Works like a charm.
All right.
Respect
But
also.
I'm gonna go Utah here. I think BYU has gotten not lucky, but they have gotten away. They have escaped the jaws of defeat narrowly multiple times. UCF almost beat them. There's another Big 12 school that probably should have beat them that did not. Listen, I just think that I can't escape this one, and they're going to lose on a last-second field goal. And Utah fans will rush the field. It'll be awesome. Go Utes. Next up is Georgia. Georgia at Ole Miss in Vaught Hemingway. Is that it? Vaught Hemingway? Yeah, it's a dump, but
It is
also
one of the worst stadiums in the SEC. Vanderbilt post renovations will be nicer than Ole Miss.
I would hope so. But Ole Miss could make the college football world very interesting tomorrow. I know you hate to see it, James, but they could.
The problem is, if they win, even if they win, they still only have a 54% chance to make the playoffs. If they lose, it's like 0.3. Let's see. Ole Miss, I'll tell you right now, Lane Kiffin is words I probably can't say on this, so I won't. Jackson Dart, same thing with him. He cheats on his girlfriend too. Terrible person. Also, he's a stat patter. Oh, yeah, let me go throw for 700 yards on Furman. Didn't even know Furman had a football team until they came to Oxford this year. Yeah, let me go. I'm not from y'all's part of the country. Not from y'all's part of the country.
You speared him in the heart.
Former Maryville quarterback Carson Jones. Furman's quarterback.
He hit a home run off me in 8th grade.
That sucks.
Also did that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be raining tomorrow, which will hurt the little bit of home field advantage Ole Miss will have. They also can't really run the ball. As long as little ETN doesn't get arrested for something, they'll be fine. They also have Branson something from Branson Robinson. He's from the Jackson metro area, so kind of a homecoming for him. Kind of really excited for him. You know, they're giving ESPN must be on crack because they have Ole Miss at a 54.1% chance to win. That is just absurd. But it does come down to Carson Beck, and if he throws interceptions tomorrow, I can really, or today, whenever it is, I can really see Ole Miss pulling this out. But quite frankly, they're a bunch of stat patters. I hate Lane Kiffin. I hate Ole Miss. I don't care if this costs me a pick. I would much rather go down with pride than to be a winning loser and pick Ole Miss. Vaught Hemingway, 0 home field advantage to begin with. Vaught Hemingway raining, then it's just a bunch of wet, alcoholic college kids that I don't like. They'll probably trash the field. And after they fake 3 injuries and Kiffin gets fined $500,000, who's that coming down the track? A drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Woof, woof. I don't know how the song goes.
That's definitely not how it goes.
Let's go, dogs.
Carson Beck struggling after dating the Cavender girl. So
It's besides.
All right. Yeah. This week is less about Ole Miss winning and more about Georgia losing. I think if Ole Miss wins this football game, then you're gonna have, let's try and think, Alabama, probably A&M after they play Texas,
Ole Miss,
LSU,
LSU,
Georgia, Tennessee, depending on how they play.
Vandy, possibly. They win this week. They're only 2 losses.
That's a lot of trouble.
You're gonna have everybody at 2 losses.
Yeah.
Listen, it's rigged enough that Ole Miss isn't winning. Sorry, not sorry. Good enough.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree. I think Georgia takes care of business. I think Carson Beck, despite the weather, kind of gets back on his feet. He knows this will be kind of a defining game for him. I mean, if he can play well in the college football playoff, then I think he can just kind of reset and take it game by game and forget about what's happened in the past. So I think Carson Beck has a pretty solid game, actually, and Georgia takes care of business and beats Jackson Sharp.
I'm also going to go with Georgia. I think, listen, Georgia has not looked good the past who knows how many weeks. If DJ Lagway stays healthy and doesn't blow out his leg, I think Florida possibly beats him. But let's be honest. Florida gutted them. Georgia's defense not been there. Georgia also doesn't have the weapons, and when Carson Beck's not playing good, the weapons, don't even have a trigger. Let's be honest. So, in my opinion, I think that Georgia's probably very beatable. I think Ole Miss, if they get off to a hot start and Ole Miss's defense gets going, they could possibly win. I don't think that will happen, though. I think they're going to overhype and then fall flat. So I'm going to go with Georgia, but nightmare scenario could play out very soon in the SEC.
I mean, we've seen Ole Miss get out with leads, like against LSU. LSU didn't lead at all during that game and still won. And this was Lane Kiffin's year of going all in, and the Oxford, bank literally dropped millions for this team. They bought all their players, and I think it's going to come back and bite them because you know how much chemistry they have? 0. And Lane Kiffin's gritty little coach, and he didn't want to keep Quinshon Judkins. That's the most broken spin move I've ever seen in a video game. Lane Kiffin's an idiot for not keeping Judkins. Idiots.
Well, let's go to the SEC game of the week. Alabama at LSU. Alabama at 2 losses. LSU at 2 losses. Both control their destiny. Bama loses, out of the playoff. LSU loses, out of the playoff. In Death Valley at night, James.
I think you just said right there. Garrett Nussmeier looked pretty good. Looked like a top 3 SEC quarterback. Him, Pavia, probably the Texas quarterback, Quinn Ewers, probably my top 3 right now. A lot to be happy about if I'm LSU. You have the game of the year, possibly. I don't know. A&M Texas might be the game of the year, though. But depending on how this goes, it's going to be electric. We saw what LSU night game did for a team like Ole Miss, and I think Alabama is kind of right around Ole Miss. Good, but not great. And that LSU environment is going to be crazy. I don't think someone's going to die this time. Last time I did think someone's going to die. This time, no one's dead. But I also saw the governor of Louisiana is letting LSU have a Tiger back on the field for the first time in years. That is going to be crazy.
Tigers.
Gold Tigers. I mean, they're going to put it right beside the opposing tunnel. That's what they used to do, at least. I mean, if seeing a live tiger before, if I'm LSU, that's hyping me up. I just looked into the eyes of the tiger, and now I have to go get Jalen Milroe. That's easy. But if I'm Jalen Milroe and I see a tiger and a bunch of crazy, drunk LSU fans screaming at me, I am shivering. I'm probably peeing a little in my pants. I mean, LSU is going to win this game. They have it in them to win this game. I think they should win this game. This kills Alabama's season. DeBoer will continue to get death threats and threats of firing, just crazy mad fans. But I think this LSU team is very capable of doing it. And what's his name has kind of had Alabama's number the past few years. Kind of has. Brian Kelly. Fun game to watch. Give me the Tigers. Easy pick.
I think the Tide is going to roll again. Besides last week, Alabama did not look good. Who was it? Vandy, South Carolina, and then Tennessee. Just 3 tough weeks for them. But I feel like this game, Alabama's one of those teams where they play to their competition, I feel like, which is not a good thing. But in a big game against another big team, and we kind of saw it against Tennessee, it's going to be a good football game. And I think Alabama proves, well, either tomorrow or today, whenever you want to look at it, why they deserve to be in the college football playoff. Give me the Tide.
Death Valley at night, tough place to play. The Tide meets a hurricane barrier in the LSU Tigers. They will get the big win. Garrett Nussmeier plays a great game. LSU wins huge. Alabama out of the playoff would warm my heart, honestly. So, yes, James.
Okay, 2 things. One, if we know anything about Alabama in an opposing environment, it's not good. See Vanderbilt, see Tennessee. Neyland really gave it to him, and I think Death Valley is a much harder place to play than Neyland. No offense. 2, is Ryan Williams in the transfer portal? A lot of rumors spreading that he's going to hop into it. Just saying,
I don't know.
That hurts team chemistry. When rumors flying around like that, can Jalen Miller trust his number 1 guy?
He's coming to Knoxville.
Some people are saying that. You're not wrong. Imagine Nico and Ryan Williams. That would be elite. I don't know. It's just something to watch out for in the coming months. And I don't know if Kalen DeBoer. I feel like Saban was so traditional, like so far this way, and DeBoer is so far this way. You should have picked a guy somewhere in here. Maybe like a Sark. I know Sark didn't want the job, but someone that's kind of that more traditional Saban style instead of this very, modern guy. I think that could come back to bite him. I think it could. I don't know.
Well, that's week 11. Jesus loves you. We will see you next week. Hopefully we will have some guests. We're supposed to. Actually, no, not next week. Maybe if we find some guests. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see you then. Possibly more clips coming out, especially after this fantastic episode of James being James. We'll see you then. Peace out.